The gift of honesty. In the small village of Verdant Vale, nestled between Emerald Mountains, everyone knew one another. There were two children in particular, Leo and Mia, who were best friends. They played together, studied together, and shared everything, from toys to secrets. One day, while playing near the forest, Leo found a shiny golden coin. Excitedly, he showed it to Mia. "This must be worth a fortune," she exclaimed. A plan formed in Leo's mind. "We could use this to buy all the sweets we want," he whispered. Mia, however, looked hesitant. "But what if someone lost it? Shouldn't we try to find the owner?" Seeing Mia's point, but still wanting the sweets, Leo came up with a plan. "Let's keep the coin for 3 days. If no one claims it by then, we'll spend it." Mia agreed reluctantly. But by the next morning, word had spread throughout the village about Mr. Harold's lost gold coin. Mr. Harold, an elderly man, had saved up that coin for years, hoping to buy a special gift for his granddaughter's birthday. On hearing this, Mia felt a weight in her heart. "We have to return the coin, Leo," she urged. Leo hesitated. The thought of all those sweets was tempting. But looking at Mia's sincere eyes, he remembered the bond they shared. They had always been honest with each other. How could he not extend that honesty to someone else? Together, they approached Mr. Harold and handed over the coin. The old man's eyes welled up with tears. "Thank you, children," he said. "This coin means more to me than you'll ever know." Seeing the joy they brought to Mr. Harold, Leo realized that the happiness he received from doing the right thing was far greater than any amount of sweets. The next day, the children found a basket of fresh fruits and chocolates at their doorstep, with a note from Mr. Harold expressing his gratitude. The village also praised their honesty, and they became role models for all. The two friends learned that honesty was not just a virtue but also a gift, one that, when given, had the power to touch hearts and build lasting bonds. And so, in the heart of Verdant Vale, two children discovered that the richest rewards didn't always come in gold, but in the love and respect of those around them.
Yahoo! Please like and subscribe my channel. Woohoo!
Title: Tom and Jerry, The Lost Cheese. In the heart of New York City, amidst the hustle and bustle, Tom was daydreaming about his next meal. He had been noticing that the cheese he usually enjoyed had been disappearing lately. Unsure of the culprit, he decided to set up a camera to catch the thief. The next morning, Tom reviewed the footage and was shocked to see Jerry sneaking in every night, taking small bites of the cheese and carrying some away. Infuriated, Tom planned an elaborate trap to catch Jerry once and for all. The next evening, as Jerry made his usual cheese heist, he fell right into Tom's trap, a maze that led to a cage. However, the maze wasn't just any ordinary one. It was filled with challenges and obstacles that Tom thought would be entertaining to watch. Instead of being simple and straightforward, Tom's maze was complicated, and Jerry struggled to find his way out. Tom, feeling triumphant, sat by and watched as Jerry tried to navigate through. But as the hours passed, Tom started to notice something unexpected. Every time Jerry faced an obstacle, instead of giving up, he would pause, think, and then find a creative way to overcome it. By morning, Jerry had managed to navigate the entire maze, avoiding the final trap and making it back to his mouse hole with a piece of cheese in tow. Tom, instead of feeling victorious, felt humbled. He had seen a side of Jerry he never expected: his determination, creativity, and resilience. Tom realized that perhaps there was more to their relationship than just a cat chasing a mouse. Maybe there were things he could learn from Jerry. The next day, Tom left out a big piece of cheese as a peace offering. Jerry, recognizing the gesture, approached Tom, and for the first time they shared the cheese without any chase or fight. Lesson: no matter how different we are from others or how much we may not understand them, there's always something valuable to learn from their strengths and experiences. Instead of
Yahoo! Please
competing or
like
trying
and
to outsmart
subscribe
one
my
another, finding common
channel.
ground and mutual respect
Woohoo!
can
A fisherman's second chance. In a coastal village, a humble fisherman named Leo cast his net daily. One afternoon, he pulled up a shimmering golden fish, which surprisingly spoke, "Spare me, and I'll grant you a wish." Instead of asking for riches, Leo wished for happiness for his village. The fish granted this and disappeared into the depths. Returning home, he found his previously modest village transformed. There was enough food, fresh water, and laughter echoed everywhere. But his wife, Ava, urged him to capture the fish again for personal riches. Leo hesitated but finally gave in. Upon catching the fish again, he wished for a grand castle. The fish warned, "Greed has a price," but fulfilled the wish. The castle stood tall, but their happiness diminished, and loneliness engulfed them. Desperate, Leo returned to the sea, releasing the fish without any wishes. Their castle vanished, but the couple rekindled their joy, realizing that true happiness lies not in possessions, but in contentment. Moral: greed often overshadows true happiness. Cherish what you have. The Red Shoe and the Act of Kindness. In a bustling town, there was a famous shoe shop that sold the most exquisite footwear. Among its collection was a red shoe, radiant as a ruby, with a glossy finish and a delicate bow. It was the most sought-after pair in the entire store. Day after day, the red shoe sat proudly on display, basking in the admiration of everyone who entered the shop. It listened intently to the oohs and ahs, growing prouder and more boastful with each compliment. One day, a poor girl named Lila entered the shop. With wide eyes, she gazed at the beautiful shoes, especially drawn to the red one. She gingerly tried it on, and it fit her perfectly. However, upon looking at the price tag, her face fell. She didn't have nearly enough money. Seeing the girl's disappointment, the beige shoe next to the red one whispered, "Why don't you offer to go with her for half the price? Look at how happy she'd be." The red shoe, wrapped up in its own pride, responded, "Why should I? I'm the most beautiful shoe here. My price is my worth." Lila, her heart heavy, placed the red shoe back on the shelf and left the shop with tears in her eyes. The very next day, a wealthy lady named Mrs. Benson entered the store. She had heard tales of the famous red shoe and wished to have it for herself. Trying it on, she admired how it looked on her foot, and without a second thought, she bought the pair. While the red shoe thought it had reached the pinnacle of its existence in Mrs. Benson's luxurious mansion, it soon discovered that it was seldom worn. It spent most days inside a dark closet, surrounded by countless other shoes, equally beautiful or even more so. On the rare occasions when it was worn, the red shoe realized that Mrs. Benson didn't care for it. It was just another accessory for her, not a cherished possession. It remembered Lila's loving gaze and gentle touch, and regretted its own pride. Meanwhile, Lila found a simple pair of shoes from a kind old cobbler. They might not have been as fancy or radiant, but they fit well and carried her comfortably through her days. Time passed, and the once radiant red shoe, now dusty and forgotten, understood that true worth wasn't about appearance or price, but the love and care with which one is held. It wished it could turn back time and be with someone who would truly cherish it, like Lila. Moral of the story: it's not our external value or appearance that determines our worth, but the love and kindness.
Cinderella, a tale of kindness. In a village lived Cinderella, a kind-hearted girl burdened by her stepmother and stepsisters. They made her work day and night while they enjoyed luxuries. One day, an invitation to the royal ball arrived. The stepfamily left Cinderella behind, mocking her dreams. Magically, a fairy godmother appeared, transforming Cinderella's tattered clothes into a stunning gown and gifting her glass slippers. At the ball, the prince was captivated by Cinderella's beauty and grace. They danced the night away, but she had to rush out before the magic wore off, leaving behind a glass slipper. The prince searched for the girl who fit the slipper. Finding Cinderella, he was delighted not just by her beauty, but by her pure heart. They married and lived happily. Moral: true beauty lies within, and kindness always finds its reward.